This field is the field that we conventional till. We disc it 3 different times trying to kill the volunteer corn that the deer didn't eat last year that's Roundup ready. If you missed that video, I've also got that on the channel somewhere. You can go back and check that. Look what I just found. Literally just found that while I was taping right here. Thought that was a stick at first. Golly, I'm thankful that didn't go in a tire. I had one with a spray coop here about a month ago. I found it out in the field. It was actually a pretty good shed. I said, boy, I better pick that thing up or I might run it over with a tractor tire or a spray coop tire. And I put it on the boom of the spray coop and I was driving along and I started feeling it go down. And that darn antler had fell off and I run that sucker over with the spray coop tire. I'm glad that didn't happen here. That's sharp right there. Just a young buck. This ground has been disced 3 different times. Rains between it, so it is worked up. I mean, it is absolutely worked into powder. I typically no-till. This was something that I felt like we really needed to do just because of that Roundup ready corn that was still here after last year. We had probably 300 to 500 bushel of corn in this field less than 6-8 weeks ago. So we had to do something to get rid of it. We couldn't no-till it this year. I've no-tilled this for 3 years in a row. Let's get to food plotting, guys. After going to conventional like this and working this ground like this, it's mighty easy to want to switch over to conventional till. I know, erosion's bad, it's gonna be bad. It's really not gonna be too bad down here. Maybe a little wind erosion. This is completely flat, it's a little creek bottom field, so there shouldn't be any water erosion to speak of. That's the one that typically plays the biggest role in our environment. I did leave a spot at the other end of this field for one of our experiment plots. I'm gonna put in 2 or 3 experiment plots. It hurts my soul not to plant corn, soybeans, alfalfa, things like that on every acre that I have available to plant. But I want to learn. I want to bring you guys along on some of those experiments. And so on this one, I'm gonna try the release system. It's worked up the same as this right here. So I wanna go ahead and put the release system in. We got rain coming in tomorrow. I think I could just sow it right over top. This ground is so loose, any little rain's gonna soak it right in. It's gonna be in really good shape. Should germ up and be off to the races. So we've got this field done. That is 2 of my furthest away farms that I'm able to get done today. And the sun is setting quick. We got rain coming in tomorrow. So this is likely where I'm gonna have to stop. Maybe next week I can get back going again and try to get some of the rest of the plots in. And I've got some really cool things that I'm gonna bring you guys along with this year that I think are really gonna help a lot of you, and I'm really excited to bring those to you. So 5 days after planting, this is a testament to the soil being warm. When you plant when conditions are warm and they are favorable for germination, you will have corn through and growing in 5 days like we do here. I mean, we got corn out here that's 2.5 inches tall already, been planted 5 days. It doesn't sit there in the ground. It doesn't have a long time for insects, for disease to get on it. That's when a corn seed is most susceptible to getting killed, is when that swells and cracks open. The longer that process takes, the more likely it is that insects or disease is going to get to it. The faster that happens is in this case right here, 5 days. A lot of times when we're planting early corn in April here, when the temperature's still in the 50s, it might take 2 to 3 weeks for this corn to come up. This is conventional tillage. We did conventional tillage out here because of the overabundance of Roundup ready corn that the deer didn't eat last year because of the white oak acorns. We had a lot of issues here. We had 300 to 500 bushels of corn in this field we had to do something with. There's no way we can get a combine in here. So we ended up disking it. We would let it lay and germinate, rain on it, get the corn up growing again, and then we disc it again. And we ended up doing that 3 different times before we came in here and we planted it. Here's some of the Roundup ready corn that we're dealing with. That was a spot that didn't get disc up as well. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you try to let all them grow up into a corn plant there, that's way too thick of a population. So that's what we're trying to alleviate, is some of this volunteer corn that's out here. You can see where we planted our corn. It's small and doing really, really well. Now we planted this on May 30th. It's not been all that long. I am really impressed with the stand. You can see down there in the very edge of the video, I did put a scarecrow out the day after I planted it. That did that for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't want to take any chances of replanting. We're getting late enough in the year. My target plant date is around May 15th. For this farm, I really did not want to take any chances with that, so I went ahead and put the scarecrow out the day after I planted, just to make sure that we keep the crows and the turkeys away from it. The turkeys were really liking this field, with this being one of the only ones that was actually worked in this area. It was tilled up. The turkeys had really zeroed in on this thing, and I'm thinking 5 acres, a big flock of turkeys can do an awful lot of damage. So we went ahead and put the scarecrow out to try to alleviate some of those concerns that we had with that. I am tickled to death with this. I really like the conventional till every once in a while. I don't do an awful lot of it because it's just moving more equipment. And I really like the no-till method, just as far as soil erosion, things like that are really more benefit in our ground to no-tilling than it is to working the ground. But we didn't have any choice this time. We had to work this ground, and I'm glad we did, because I think we're going to have a really good corn plot here. You can see the corn's already starting to get that dark color to it. It's tapping into the nitrogen that we put on this food plot, and I'm really excited about this thing. I think it's going to do really well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Y'all smash that like and subscribe button.